No one heard that, but it was great. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Madness in the Land. Of course, we're still in Season 1, Dawn of the New Age. It's time for our second episode. Once again, joining me is, of course, Tesh, Tiv, Winter, and Joe. Rachel is not able to join us this week. We'll have everybody give their normal shout-outs, but we probably want everybody to, give a reminder of your characters. So we'll do our kind of basic order here. Since we don't have a Rachel, we'll go, Tesh, we'll start with you. Intro,
yes,
again, the character.
Firstly, am I unmuted this time?
I can
you are
hear
to
you.
me.
According to my OBS, everybody's speaking, so I assume so.
Okay, so last time I realized I forgot to actually explain what Nokren looks like. So Nokren is a Dragonborn. He's a big Dragonborn at 6'8", I believe. Just let me double check. Yep, 6'8". So he's very big. He's got deep blue scales with sort of silver accents. And his horns and sort of claws and spikes, that sort of thing, are all silver. And he's got two frills just below his horns covering his ears. He would probably look more blue from a distance than silver. And yeah.
Cool. Joe, let's tell us about Rufus again.
I'm sorry. I'm so. Could you skip me for a second?
Fine.
Let's together here.
Smith / Oren.
Orn. Hi. Haven't really done much so far. Rogue. Related to a couple important people.
Yes.
And my kind of best friend is not crazy anymore. Well,
Plus.
different kind.
Winter, how about you tell us about Tim?
Well, Tim's not crazy anymore, ish. So, yeah, Tim is a high elf wizard who, well, to recap a little bit of last week, went down kind of a bit of a crazy path, trying to find power, and lost his mind doing so. And this trip to this other realm has kind of brought him back to reality. Whoop. There goes gravity. But anyways, Tim is a relatively tall, not hugely tall, high elf at 6'5". He's got hazel eyes with gold flecks, and he has black hair with white streaks. He looks striking. No longer quite as disheveled as he did a few moments ago, where we will pick up the story, but he's more composed now. He was very scattered, seemed very distant, lost all the time, but now focused.
Cool. And of course we go back to
Yes.
Rufus.
You like saying my name, don't you?
No,
Rufus.
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 You want to say my last name too?
I don't have it easily accessible, so I'm not going to remember.
Lindenfoot.
See? You can say it for me.
I like it.
Anyone want to do the Lindy?
No.
Nope.
We're good. We're good.
You guys are no fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I am a halfling. Thief. Who's kind of dabbling into the my ranger territory.
Yes, scouting.
I can speak today. It's kind of short because he's a halfling. I'm 23, 4'8", 110 pounds, green eyes, tan skin, and red hair.
Cool. All right. So when we last left off, everybody was dealing with the threat of the Dread Army. They found out some information about them, lost their scout leader, who they really had only known for a week or so. Jonas. He died horribly protecting them. They managed to get their way back to town, and then all hell broke loose. The Dread Army attacked, the sky tore open and devoured them in some kind of strange, supernatural way that is now...
Eyeball.
Yeah, an eyeball which ate them.
Eyeball. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eyeball / mouth?
Eyeball / mouth. Yes.
Yeah,
Eyeball with a mouth.
Eyeball.
I don't feel so good, eyeball.
Yes. Nope. And now they have been tasked with the Duke of, finding out what's out there so that perhaps there can be some kind of assistance, especially since it appears that there is a threat here. Not only the place you're in, but there seems to be a race of people that are just not friendly with you guys.
Oh, we just need to bring them a gift basket.
Yep. A gift basket of your heads. I mean, so,
I'm really curious to see what happens if I walk out instead of someone more humanoid.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. So, things that you have left to do. You know about that you can go asking around town. There's always people to talk to. At some time, you have to go talk to Gavin Moloch. He will give you some information when you're ready to head out into the valley, the area. You've so far found a secret catch in one of the towers, and you talked to Mercedes and got a map, and Rufus has basically attempted to get
I'm starting animal husbandry with
giant mantises, which
manti.
is interesting. So the other things you know about, there's theoretically a secret lab under the magic shop. You all have 200 gold pieces of stipend that you can use to shop at various places in town. Of course, there's the rumor mill, and there is supposed to be some kind of secret structure under the cathedral, and that's what you know so far. Though
The church used to have a church.
And, you do know that there is more to the dungeon than meets the eye, so you can check that out also.
Can it transform?
Yes, but you don't really want to mess with that. It's kind of like triggering Unicron. It's not a good idea.
Totally.
I can't. For some reason, my castle map won't open again now. When I click the castle map, it just opens like a half-visible tab that I can't click or move, and it doesn't actually have the map on it.
That's
Depressing.
Yeah,
No.
the valley map works.
I can see them both.
Don't worry, you
So
don't need the
can't
castle map.
is-
I opened them both before. Oh well.
They're very, very, very well drawn.
They are
Extremely.
hand drawn.
That would
Thank
still
you
be
very
useful.
Tantus.
Yes.
So, like most shows, it's near the end of season 1 that we figure out that the castle can fly, right?
Yeah.
Technically, the castle's potentially flying right now. We don't really know for sure.
I
We
mean,
haven't
you're
explored
not
out
wrong.
far enough. But other castles are flying right now.
I
it
mean,
did
like,
move
it's
dimensions, so
its own
pretty
like
cool.
little hover.
Oh, like thruster jets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you
Doesn't
know.
have to be.
Yeah, I
Maybe
know,
like-
but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop thrusting in my direction.
Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
Yes. Sanctuary.
God.
Okay. So is there anywhere in particular you want to go right now? And who's all going together?
Well,
I will note for everyone that Grits is not here. Grits has been called away through Messenger as soon as she got out of the tower with Nokren to go meet with the Dwarven Thane on her own. And she's doing that right now. So we don't know what's going on with that. And it will be revealed in the future.
In other words, she couldn't be here today.
so Orn and I are together right now. We're walking to the church, and we're alone, as far as I know. And I think that's the intention for now.
So-
Is we're just gonna keep moving alone for the time being.
Are you saying you're walking to the chapel?
Yep. Hey, maybe he loved it. Maybe he put a ring on it.
You would very easily run into basically everyone out in that main
Ow!
square.
Don't run into me.
Well, we could avoid that.
Because the tower that Nokren and Grits came out of is right next to the fountain and statue, which is right outside, of course, the manor. Which
Prove it.
Just walk out.
On your map,
Oh,
T
hi.
is where you go, is where they come from. W is where you would come from, and you'd head through the manor. And Rufus would be just coming
Okay.
down the main street, probably to meet with you people in the manor anyway. I'm assuming. Unless
Nope,
you-
Okay.
I'm out riding Manti.
So we don't have
that.
We take the long way around.
Yeah, we're purposefully going to be going out of our way to avoid
There
meeting up with people for the moment.
is no long way.
Well,
I see one through C1, and
Yeah.
then
My map
out
works
through
again.
C18, past C.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You're going
We're taking the real long way
you're
around.
like cutting through the barracks.
Yes.
yes.
All right.
Wait, I missed what's happening. I finally have my map. Okay.
Okay, so you guys, sure, you'll cut through the barracks and take the longest route in history to get to some place that's 5 feet away, but...
Okay, so where are
you
we?
will
now that I have
actually
my map
pass
up?
by, like, Commander Malik will kind of, like, look at you kind of funnily, like, as, like, you're not stopping by, because he's training some people at C-18.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll wave.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
a
you know.
polite wave.
Yeah. And then
'Cause you're
continue
exiting
on.
the barracks, too, which is kind of confusing.
As we're walking, I turn to Tim. Take me to church.
And Tim would look at Orn very kind of in a little bit of a funny way and say, "Well, that's where we're going, isn't it?"
Well, yes, but I thought it'd be funny have you lead me for once.
Oh. To be perfectly honest, I'm not entirely sure where the church is.
It's
So
the
we're back to
big
square one.
cathedral building right outside the manor.
Is that E?
Yes. It has very nice church towers.
So
in it.
even if you go around, you're still going to end up in the center square.
There's,
Yeah.
No,
But we
you're
need the
technically-
time
got
to
ways
walk
around.
is the main
You're
thing.
technically
So-
going to avoid it mostly, so... And they could probably jump the fence into the graveyard if they really wanted to.
We're not like avoiding that hard. Like we're just needing time to talk first before we bump into anybody. So I would at this point, as Tim say, well, I don't really know where it is. I assume it's that big building over there with the towers.
And the steeple.
And the people.
It's the
And,
only thing that's up on... The odd thing about it is the only thing that's up on a hill in this area. And it's like a tiny hill that it's like perfectly sized for. The rest of this area, right, the castle is in, is very flat.
What building am I in?
You were in C2, if you're checking out the map, which let me...
It's a
okay.
ways away.
I see it. Okay.
It's a ways away.
I see it.
You might bump into us technically on our way through, but technically. So at this point, like Tim would turn to Orn at this point and say, "So why did you take me in?"
It started out as just having to walk you home about 10 times a month.
That bad, huh?
You have no idea. It went on for 3 years.
Well, I do apologize for that. That wasn't my intention, obviously, when I went out seeking power to become completely useless.
Well, the strange thing was, after the incident at the church, and I got moved away, you showed up there. So I figured you must have some reason for hanging around.
I don't know why, but even now I know how much you took care of me. I don't know how I know that. I don't really know how that came to be, but I appreciate it. I'm in your debt for that.
It's nothing. It's just taking care of an old friend that, well, is pretty much the only one alive.
Well, let's hope it stays that way, shall we?
With our luck.
Fair enough. I will ask, do you know at all anything about what I was searching for? Do you know anything at all about anything to do with me?
Just the occasional repeated ramblings.
Unfortunately, I'm all too familiar with those.
Let's see. There is a particular, we'll call it sect of my religion, that may interest you, and it's kind of why I'm heading to the church.
Are you going to tell me any more about that before we get there, or should I wait and see?
It's a wait and see.
Fair enough. Well, in that case, take me to church.
And we walked, Tantus.
And you walk. All right.
Hand in hand down the main fairway.
I'll say Are you trying to avoid being noticed by Nokren and Rufus? They probably have met in the square by now, and if you're trying to be stealthy, you could probably avoid them. There is still business going on. But if you're not, they'll probably notice you kind of heading towards the church.
I think we probably are still slightly avoidant, but I don't know. I'm gonna leave that one up to you. I think Tim would
side of the face as we walk.
I think Tim would leave it up to Orin's discretion at that point.
Mm-hmm.
My specialty is blending in with crowds, so I'm hoping there's people around to walk through.
Okay. So Rufus, you and Nokren run into each other in the thing. Nokren now has like a pile of weapons and equipment, and Rufus is looking very like, happy about his success with, his pseudo success with, getting a guy to train some mantises.
So firstly, I have a question. You mentioned something before that we would know that there's a dungeon that somewhere here that we need to explore properly.
Yes.
In the mansion.
Yeah, in the mansion. Okay,
yes.
cool. Okay, and is there a blacksmith somewhere on the map so I know where to go?
There is indeed a blacksmith. C6 is the Iron Fist Brothers Metal and Works.
Okay.
Yeah, that is in the main area there.
I just passed them.
Yes.
Yep.
Other places.
Hi, we're going back that way.
Yes. Other places to note. You've got a bitter help, which is best described as that's the stables, because that's of course what his name is. Vincent's Books and Scrolls is the magic shop. Gems, Jewels, and other such is basically a trade-in place for gems and stuff. Hall's Kitchen is she's master of alchemy. She basically cooks up stuff. JJ's Goods and Tools is a general store. Cassidy's shop is currently not open. And that's that.
You say taffy shop?
Cassidy's.
But you said taffy shop.
What was the general store again?
JJ's Goods and Tools at C9. So it's like right in that little like hallway area there at the one side of the building.
I hear they're dynamite.
Okay. So if you're coming up the thing after I'm walking out with all of this stuff, I was just, I'm going that way to the blacksmith. I have stuff.
I see.
And I'm going to start walking that way.
Okay.
So you were looking for the stables, right?
Yes, I just came from there. He's willing to try to train them.
Okay. That'll be interesting.
Try.
So we may be able to ride Giant Manti at some point.
I'm not sure I will, but cool. I think I might crush one. And how big are these, actually? Wait, no, I haven't seen them yet.
They're the size of a horse. So, I mean, maybe?
Maybe?
Depends how durable their exoskeleton is.
Okay, so when I get to the blacksmith, I imagine what I do is I'm carrying all of these weapons and everything. I'm going to put them down in a pile.
I'm helping.
Yeah, I'm going to put them down in a pile, pick up one longsword and go to the blacksmith, give this to whoever needs it. Do you have any hunting traps?
Which one are you going to, Tovin or Dovin? I believe we established that Tovin was the...
That's right, yeah.
Yes.
Tovin is weapons, Dovin is armor.
Yes.
D for
Basically,
defense.
they have one building with one backyard with one furnace in it kind of area. And their shop just has this like really pathetic wooden wall separating a good chunk of it. That it's like a little open over near their like where they would be behind the counter. Because it seems like they are like you can hear them arguing with each other from the other side of it as you're entering.
Are they still making caltrops?
No, they stopped.
Okay.
They made like 20, and then everything went down, and they're like, eh.
Okay, so I would go to Tone first because I'm giving him the longsword to give to someone who needs it. I would ask him, can you make hunting traps?
I should be able to. I was going to be working on a couple of weapons, but I believe my fellow dwarfs will be working on that in the... they've set up a small blacksmith area in the refugee area. So I might be able to focus on it a little more.
If I could get 2 hunting traps, that would be very useful.
I believe I could. You can see that he does still have a supply of equipment here. He had a longsword. He'll put the longsword you gave him with that, so now he has 2 longswords.
Yep.
But if you need staffs, slings, or daggers, he has lots of those.
So do I need to put down a deposit now, or like, how does... I don't know how this is going to work.
You have about 200 you can technically spend at the shops.
Oh, that's right, we do, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'll just tell him that I'll be back in a bit to pick him up. And then I go back and pick the massive pile of weapons that I took one out and gave to him, and walk out with the massive pile of weapons.
Okay.
I'm still holding... I'm going to actually walk up to him with the 1 arrow I'm still holding.
Yes.
Is this anything special?
Oh, yeah, we haven't tested those out yet.
It's an arrow?
No, but the material.
It's an arrow.
Okay.
Fair enough. And as soon as I'm outside, I'm going to put down my pack and start doing what I said I'd do, which is I'm going to strap 2 of the longswords to the side of my pack so that I can carry them without sort of issue, but I can't access them easily.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to set it up so I have my great sword, also the great sword, and my glaive on my back. And so I'm no longer carrying things, just like trying to carry them out and about while walking. So, okay.
I'm going to take half of my current arrows out and replace them with half of the cool arrows.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, man.
Okay, so I don't like having... if we're going to be here for a while, I don't like having areas of this castle unexplored.
Mm-hmm.
You up for going for dungeon diving?
Not exactly my forte, but I can try.
I would like to go and explore the dungeon. If you have anything else to do first, we can do that, but...
Okay.
I don't like... if we're going to be stuck here, I don't want things sneaking up on us.
Okay. Well, then we'll switch back to Tim and Oren as they arrive at the cathedral then. You head inside the main doors into the large hall of worship. It's got like large stained glass, big echoing room, lots of pews. Off to the one side is this kind of like strange little shrine area where all the minor gods have things set up. You have your major gods of worship in this main area. It seems like it probably had been more exact at one time, but probably over the last 10 years it's been now dedicated to the main pantheon of deities. You do see the father here. He seems to be at work, it seems like he just had a sermon. A group of people had been here. They've routed Father Bellies. I'm trying to pronounce my own things, and I'm trying not to pronounce it because I'm bad at English. English. So Father Bellies, he's still in his formal outfit of his sermon. He's there's a couple of people still hanging around. You do not see Brother Knack or Sister Thatch right now, if you were looking for them.
Okay. So since he's pretty much finishing up and everything, I pretty much just walk up to him and wait for him to acknowledge me.
Yes.
I would be hanging back a little bit, probably a few feet back, but still present, and I wouldn't hesitate to speak if, the opportunity arose.
So, giving a better description of him, he's a kind of balding, gray-haired man, kind of a grayish beard. There's still a little black in it. He's got this kind of almost bulbous nose, where these little pair of glasses are on top of it, so he's kind of got a big kind of nose on it. And he's got he looks very nice, except he's kind of got a chubby little face for his skinny body kind of thing, so he's kind of unusual. He'll finish up with someone. Yes, hello. Greetings, Smith, and your friend.
Yes, I believe that you got word from the Duke that we're to be let into the lower sanctums.
My predecessor had locked the door to that long ago. It's dangerous, and I am worried that there might be more dangers down there than that it's worth. But if you wish to check it out, none of us have really been down there in decades in order to look around. There's probably still something down there, I would assume. If you go around the side, close to the guard tower, there's some bushes kind of hid in the shade of the building here. You'll find a rock, a pretty large one. If you move it out of the way, you'll be able to find your way down. He'll kind of shake his head, but he'll be like, I hope what you find down there is of help.
What exactly do you think would be down there that you think isn't worth our trouble?
Well, I mean, the cathedral was the second thing built here after the manor house, before this place was even a castle. And that cathedral was sunk into the earth by a group of trolls from the wildlands that came in and attacked some, I believe, 70 years ago. One of their shamans had some kind of magic that caused it to sink. And he was trying to intimidate the Duke at the time. We've built the current cathedral on top of it. Why do you think this is the only hill in town? We layered dirt on top of what was, well, left sticking out, and there you go.
So, we'll find dirt.
Well, as far as I know from what I've heard, the roof is still mostly intact. So, you'll probably find some dirt, not all the dirt.
Well,
Not all.
are you sure this is worth our time, Orn?
There's a possibility of some information that could be quite helpful.
I take your lead.
Besides that, who knows? Never know what people will donate to a church for favor.
Speaking of, no wizards passing through here, leaving scrolls all over the place. Always worth asking.
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, maybe you can find something in the magic shop. That's the only place I could think to look for anything.
Before we continue, do you know any rituals that would have been practiced by heathens, monsters, that would have called on such a thing, that would have carried us away into this place?
The power that was used was beyond me. At first I was considering that perhaps it was a divine source. One of our gods answered our prayers. But I feel there's a darkness to it. Terrible machinations to what has occurred to us. I don't know if it's true. But maybe still it is something of a similar power. There are other beings out there. Plenty. And I am unfamiliar with all of them.
This is no god. Not anymore, at least.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to find something out. Good luck to you.
Tim would bow. Slightly.
And, if you ever need recovery once you've returned to town, my expertise is at your service.
That's very much appreciated.
All right. You'll head outside. You will be able to find this kind of. When you just look at it, if he had pointed it out, it probably would have been very difficult to find this. Not impossible, like you kind of like it stands out a little bit, but you wouldn't have realized to move this rock out of the way. You'll find a couple boards which you'll kind of lift up, and it will kind of lead to this staircase leading down to a door.
Do we want to group up before you guys go down there? Like,
Nope.
Apparently they don't.
No.
going in. Okay,
No.
good luck. Good luck.
Sorry.
And the first 2 deaths
Oh,
of the game.
Hey, you know what? If it happens, it happens. So
Player
be it.
decisions, or character decisions beat player decisions.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
So you'll head down, and at the door there is a lock, of course, which you now have the key for.
As I'm locking it, you know, I always thought the entrance was on the inside of the church. No wonder I couldn't get through.
You've tried before.
A few years now, actually. Unlock.
Okay.
Well, let's see. And I start to pull it open.
The door kind of, you can tell now, is kind of on this strange almost angle, and it kind of like takes a little bit of effort to open up, and like little bits of like specks of like dirt and like rock kind of fall down. You appear to be in one of the bell towers, you think. Like a door that was put into the top of it. You can see like a kind of winding staircase that leads down. That looks a little iffy, but kind of like stepping out like kind of slowly onto it, it does feel like it's holding. It'll...
Okay.
Holding.
I am just saying, if you cast Firebolt down here, don't miss something.
I was about to say, should I light something on fire so we can see better?
We
No,
have to
I
be
was-
very careful.
I was actually this is me obviously very out of character. I have a question, Matt.
Okay, yeah?
Just confirming, cantrips?
Yes.
No problem. Just
Your
Endless.
cantrips are fine.
perfect.
Yes, I know what you're asking about. Your cantrips are fine.
Cool.
Mhm.
Because
no.
yeah, no dancing lights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wanna make it a little bit easier for us to see.
Yep. Okay.
So
You'll
I clicked it.
you'll wind
Oh,
down,
sorry.
of course, into the depths of the tower, and at the bottom there'll be a door. The tower itself is actually on an angle. It looks like it's kind of been almost torn away from the building a little bit, and it's not like a 45-degree angle. It's just a slight enough angle that is disconcerting as you're climbing down to it. You know,
We're so good at that.
you kind of push open the door at the bottom, and it kind of has this creaking noise that the echoing seems to creak throughout the entire chamber. This is the massive chamber that would have been the heart of this cathedral here. The ceiling is about 20 feet above you. You can see cracks spread across it. Large pieces of wall and some ceiling that you can see like chunks of dirt which have seemingly still holding up, above it, have fallen down, crushing a lot of this floor. You're gonna have to get crawling over like large bits of rubble to get anywhere in here. You can see there was like a front door to your right, which is just like dirt is just pouring into it. To your left, you can see that up there is the altar, and there seems to be something near the altar, and you can also see flanking on either side of the altar, kind of like on opposite sides of the rooms, are doors for various rooms. Where do you want to go to?
Before we move on, I feel like I should tell you what the hell's going on.
That would be appreciated, given that we're currently in what appears to be a ruin of what I would not necessarily classify as a church, but I believe is classified as a church, and you haven't told me exactly what sect you're part of.
Well, okay. Here, and I reach into my bag. Take a look at this book, and I hand you an ancient-looking, leather-bound book. The pages are holding on, they're in there.
Tim would be extremely delicate with that, taking it with extreme care and caution, opening it with only the slightest touch to see if it would even, just making sure it wouldn't fall apart as he lifts the first part of the cover. I'm assuming that it doesn't, he would continue and start to flip through only very, very lightly and cautiously through the pages. But I don't know what he finds, so...
Yeah. I'm still like digging through my pack. That's an old text that's part of my church, and I found during one of my we'll say missions a cipher. As you can see, it looks like a lot of trade manifests, shipping routes, things like that. But inside is a code, and I only have been able to decipher the first few pages with what I have. But here, and I bring out the cipher, and it's a like 8-ring wheel that you have to spin depending on like what page, what sentence of the page, what pair, and there's lots of things missing.
This is some Magi's Tome shit. All right.
A lot of shit going on.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm part of the sect of the Eternal Flame.
Tim would raise his eyes at this. He would recognize it, not fully, but he'd be aware of the name at the very least. He wasn't necessarily certain of what they were or what they did, but he's heard the name before. It's come up in some of his research. It's come up in some of his texts, and so upon hearing that name, he would pause. He would stop flipping through the book because while you were talking, he was reading, listening to you, but he was reading, and he would stop and look at you, pause greatly before saying,
kind of the what the fuck face.
Yeah, very much a what the fuck face. And he'd look at you and he'd say, I need you to tell me everything.
As he says that, you notice there's the odds going on. He's still flipping pages. He doesn't seem to notice he's doing it. And then Tim, you just stop. And you realize this is the page you have to give him.
Ah, shit. Okay.
Oh, no.
I'd hand Orn back the book. Open at the page.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't say anything. I think Tim wouldn't know what to say at that point. He'd just say, I don't know why. This page.
I've only gotten a few words out of it, and...
No, this page.
You look at the page, and you realize there's, like, the text, and there's also, like, the cipher, and there's also a shape within it. And you begin to realize the shape is very familiar to what you've just seen. And it looks a lot like the back of this room, as written in the text here. So it's like the text is almost like in a shape itself. It's something that you wouldn't have even seen unless you were in here.
Well, I see we're both a little spooky as always.
I don't think I've ever stopped, unfortunately.
Well, before we awaken some horrible demonic being, as we probably will and die.
Undoubtedly.
My order followed... well, I should go back farther. There were two gods, one of earth and one of fire. The earth god went crazy, and the fire god could do nothing but banish them both to an entirely separate plane. And other than that, all I have is that my church were a huge factor in defeating the previous Dreadlord.
Did your church... Did they have rituals to contact your god? Did they have rituals that would call for objects of power to be given to those who are worthy?
If there were lost or in that book.
They're not lost. At least they weren't 50 years ago.
I'm afraid you might have contacted the other one.
Well, that would certainly explain some things, wouldn't it? And Tim would step back, kind of look around the room, start trying to piece together what he's seeing.
Kind of, it doesn't take you long, kind of just like walking around the room a little bit, kind of like looking around, and especially looking in the area that the image you saw in the book was. You realize that it was kind of hard to tell because of all the collapse and the rubble, but it looks as if the altar is actually been moved. And beneath it, there was once a staircase. It is now completely filled with rubble.
It seems like we need someone who can move heavy objects at this point in time so that we can proceed.
Down there, but there's also a couple other places to go in here first.
I don't think that we should. Not yet. My reason for that is because you have things left to say, I know. You have things left to do. You have secrets left to unveil. But let me tell you this. When you unveil secrets alone, madness is the most likely result. Trust me on that.
Tim, can you give
I've
me
noticed.
an intelligence check?
Just a check?
Just a check.
At least it's not a save.
Nope. Just a check.
Now, just
control.
clarifying, that's the very far left side.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Okay.
You are looking over the collapse, and you get the feeling that however big this collapse is, it would probably take quite a long time with even the 5 of you working together digging this out. That maybe you would either better to hire someone or ask for help.
Okay.
Not that you couldn't,
No,
but
it
you
would
guys
just take
do
a long
not
time.
currently have the magical power, and
Or the manpower.
the
Yeah.
manpower. You know.
I'm not saying that we should only gather our companions, but I think that that should be our first step.
So, what you're saying is we're going to need more.
We always need more. There has to be sacrifices made for great power.
Can
You
we
know
look
that.
in the other rooms? You don't know how long I've been dying to get in here.
If you promise me it's not going to get us killed, then yes.
I promise it won't get you killed.
Not good enough.
I promise it probably won't get us killed.
Not good enough.
Oh, Tim!
Hey, how long did you wait for me to have my brain back?
I didn't think you'd get it back. I wasn't waiting.
And now it is. Welcome to my hell.
10 years. I'm a human. Come on!
Wait longer. What is another day? At most, day. We can go, we can
You do not
find
know.
our
That's gonna be a
companions.
day, thank you.
We will go and we will find our companions. We will come back here, and we will go into those rooms where we have people who actually can maybe kill something if it approaches us.
Excuse you, I can kill things. I've killed more things in years I've been alive.
So still quite a small number.
By your standards. Okay, sassy pants.
Ooh,
Cat fight.
cat fight. All right. But
I got
I'm
6 of
standing
those when I was... I think... Scroll to backstory.
Quickly checks his log.
Yeah, just like open a little black book. Here, let me,
anyway,
thank you, dude.
so the 2 of you will be going and meeting with the rest of them. Let's switch over to Rufus and Nokren as they are heading down into the castle dungeon. It didn't take them long with asking a couple of questions of just some people in the manor to kind of negotiate them to one of the towers, in which you kind of headed down a spiral staircase, and you've kind of come out to a bottom floor. You
I'd
can
also ask like what we know about it, if anyone knows anything about
you
it.
can learn a couple of things. I will
Okay.
give you. Actually, give me a. Just give me a random, like a persuasion check. Just a persuasion check for some talking to some people here.
You want me to roll too?
Sure.
Ooh.
I'll take that.
All right.
Ooh.
Which is one of my better skills, surprisingly.
So, the person basically directing you, as you're kind of asking, is like, the dungeon hasn't been used forever. No one would think to use it. We weren't taking prisoners of the goblins and such, so, and not a lot of crime has been called for it. But and this is like some like a maid or something. But I heard the guards captured some strange monster and placed it in there recently, while they were out checking the outside world. I don't know what they're even planning to do with it. Could they even communicate with it? I'm worried. Hopefully we'll be safe.
Interesting. Ooh. Okay. Hearing that, I'd probably go try and ask the guard captain about the monster they captured rather than just going straight down.
You'll easily be able to find Gavin Malik, and he'll be like, yes, we did actually manage to capture one of those savage creatures. We have him locked in the dungeon. No one has been able to communicate with him, and the thing is violent. If you're checking out that area, be careful of its cell. Maybe one of you can figure out what it's saying or something. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. That changes things. I think at this point, Nokren would want to meet up because not translating not his strong suit.
That's fine.
Neither is mine.
You guys are taking a little extra time at the with going to the armory and stuff. You'll be able to kind of head back to the main area, and coming out from around where the cathedral is, you'll run into, of course, Tim and Orin.
What have you guys been up to?
Yeah, that.
We have things to do.
We also have things to do. What do you have to do?
Ours is probably longer term.
Okay.
What?
We have one of those, the savage ones they call them, to talk to, I think. Maybe.
First things first. This is important. Where did you get all of those weapons?
Oh, right, tower. That one over there had like a hidden compartment thingy. We smashed it open. Here's we have these long swords. We have this great sword.
May I see one of the long swords for a moment?
You also have 2 sets of scale mail.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we do. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Worthless to
That
us.
no one can wear.
I mean,
okay.
I'm not saying no one could wear it. You could. I mean,
Tim totally should wear it.
Clunk,
You know what? He would. Like, he'd consider it. He would, because his whole thing is power. So protecting that power is kind of important.
Yes, but isn't wielding
can't.
that power important?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't think he could actually physically do it. But he'd look at it and he'd think it was real pretty. But the longsword, now, Tim would ask, can I hold on to this?
Can you hold on to it?
I can. I've been trained with long swords. Thank you very much.
I like that.
Are
Can.
Good with it?
Yes, I've trained for longer than you have been alive with a long sword.
That doesn't mean you're good. There
That's
is a
very
thing
low.
called natural talent.
I will admit, I am certainly better at shooting fire from my fingertips than I am at wielding a longsword, but that doesn't mean I am not proficient in it, sir. And I will continue to use it, so long as that's all right with you, Nokren.
Yeah, that's fine. I still got 2 extras on my backpack, so I'm good.
Tim would kind of look quizzically at you at this point. Like, why do you need? But he wouldn't say anything. He'd just look at you a little funny, and then okay, and then I'd keep the longsword.
So where are you guys going?
Any weapons
now?
possible.
Well,
Dungeon.
Dungeon? Okay.
Dungeon? Okay.
We haven't even mentioned it. It's a dungeon. We just
hold on.
mentioned that
Well,
they
yeah.
died.
Sorry. Okay,
Tim has
Keep
questions.
Keep going.
I imagine. Okay, go on. Yeah.
So, you went and you got weapons.
Yeah.
Did you think to sell any of those weapons?
I may have given one to the blacksmith to give to someone who needs it.
You didn't sell it. You gave it.
No.
It's very kind of you. Now,
Given the circumstances, I figured.
I suppose you're right. All right. Now, there are two matters of interest, clearly.
Yep.
Each one of us has something going on. I also have something I would like to investigate, but that can wait. So, I
I
have to
did
ask.
mine. I talked to a man about a mantis.
That too.
Sorry, what?
I talked to the stable master about training the wild mantis-sized, well, horse-sized mantises.
Do you have a death wish?
Think of the possibilities if we can get them under control.
There is no control here. You seem to have mistaken your position, sir.
He's willing to try.
Then he's as much of a fool as you are. But, all right. Anyways,
We could
what is
start
it
out
that
with
you
a
guys
crippled
want
one.
I mean, he's not wrong.
They're
What does
going
that
to
sound?
try whether we accept it or not.
He wants to play in a dungeon and talk to a weird man creature.
Yeah.
man
Yeah.
creature?
Yeah. The guards that they captured one of those savage ones and they put them in the dungeon.
They did what now?
Yeah.
No one can communicate with it.
Yeah.
That is both surprisingly skilled for them and
Stupid?
yes,
Yeah.
So
disappointing.
incredibly stupid?
Yeah.
I say we poke it with a
Well,
stick.
Let's go
that
join
would
in
not
the
be-
madness, shall we? And let's go talk to the beast. I don't
First,
understand.
we need to make sure it is a beast. Like if their strangers came out of nowhere and captured one of your people, they'd probably be pretty angry too.
You make a valid point, but regardless, until it determines to have intelligence, it is a beast to us.
Fair enough.
Well, I think they assume that it has a language, which would mean there's some intelligence behind it.
Everything has its own language. Have you heard of druids
Well.
talking to plants?
Touche.
Just because madness resides in some people doesn't make them intelligent. But, sure, let's go
Personal
talk to the
experience.
creature.
Okay.
Yes, personal
So
experience.
you'll head down into the guard tower where the dungeon is, kind of come out to a landing. You can see that the hall itself kind of goes forward. It turns to your left, and there is a door to the right.
Anyone have a preference?
Well,
I thought you were leading the way on this one.
Okay. I'm actually going to
I-
pull out the unknown coin.
Mhm.
I assume this has like a heads or tails on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I
going to
think
listen
you know,
at the door.
You know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna flip
Listening
the
at
coin.
the door, you easily hear some talking coming from in there.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it back. Never mind.
Uh-huh.
Voices this way.
Okay. Do we want to listen more or crack it open and go in?
Does it sound like
I'm
a
not sneaking,
language
so.
that
Yes.
we heard?
Yes.
Okay.
It sounds like, if you're listening for a moment, a couple of people playing a card game.
Someone's playing cards.
The classic card game.
It's probably guards.
It's Red
Prob-
Dragon Inn. No, not Red Dragon. It's
They have an inn in
The other one.
dungeon?
Dragon, 3 dragon ante.
3 dragon.
Yes. I remember
They have an
the
inn
date.
in the dungeon?
No.
So
Is the door locked?
No.
Like, I'll just open it then.
Yeah. Okay. You can easily see behind you now that, like, another 5 feet forward on the other direction was a big metal gate with a lock on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They kind of turn towards you. There's like a couple of guards in here that look to have been playing some kind of card game. Like, oh, hello. What can we do for you?
Here you have a guest.
Oh, yes. Wait, I know you folks. You're the people that brought, that came back in one piece that brought the information. Yeah, we heard tell that the Duke said you're going to be maybe stopping by. Excellent. Give me a second here. And he, like, plays a winning hand. All right.
Priorities.
He goes over, like, he gets, like, off a wall, like, a set of keys. He's like, here you go. We only really have, one guy, or one, well, it's a guy, from what we can tell, in the one cell. Look out for him.
Is it clothed?
Mostly. We took off whatever kind of, armor it had. It seemed like it was, like, falling apart as soon as we took it off. Kind of strange.
how do you mean falling apart?
Well, like, while it was wearing it, it seemed perfectly fine. But as soon as we tried to take it off, it was like a mystery at how to put it back together. How it was laid together.
Do you have those pieces?
Sure. He'll kind of, like, point over it, like, there's, like, a pile of, like, looks like furs and, like, leathers that are kind of, like, put together in some kind of rudimentary hide armor that is now kind of, like, almost, like, fallen apart.
Okay.
Okay.
Tim would walk over to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanna check them for magic.
Give me an Arcana check.
Sure.
That's a good way to start it.
Tim, do you have prestidigitation, however the hell you say that
Yes.
trick?
Press
You might want to,
digitation.
yeah, that. You might want to clean it before you touch it.
Tim wouldn't listen.
Taking a look at it, you quickly realize that it doesn't seem to have any kind of actual magic to it. It just seems that, like, more than likely it's like, I would call it custom armor would be the best way to say it. Though it seems so, like, rudimentary and thrown together. It seems that however this creature was wearing it is the way you're supposed to wear it. And if you don't know that, it just won't fit together.
Okay.
Can I look at it and try to see if I can figure out, like, what kind of animal it might be from?
It seems to be a mixed bag of, like, probably, like, a dozen or so different animals.
Okay. How's the workmanship? Because I do have another worker's tools.
It actually surprisingly very excellent. Whoever actually put this together was a skilled craftsman of the trade. Though, again, it's like this weird mishmash of stuff that makes it seem terrible and odd. I mean, you get the feeling, Tim, if you really wanted to, someone could probably learn how to use this. It would take time, and i.e., if you guys wanted to train to get proficiency in their armor, you could.
I think at that point I would. What have we seen this creature yet?
No.
No. Okay. How far away is he at this point?
In one of the cells down the block, basically.
Down the block. So we can't.
They
okay.
can point out which cell. It's basically. That's the only one that they have occupied.
I think I'd hand the armor to Nokren at this point, and say, "You should put this in your pack just in case."
Will do.
And then I'd turn to the guard and say, "We're taking the armor, by the way."
Okay.
I like that Nokren honestly probably wouldn't have even thought about checking with the guard. He would just start packing it in. as you
Well,
do that.
I didn't even ask. I just told. So
Yeah.
you know.
While you were like
Good
looking
luck.
over the armor, like halfway through, I just was walking down to the cell that it was in.
Yeah.
Nokren would say, wait. I want to try something. Let it see me first.
All right.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to try and sort of walk down with them a little far enough behind that it wouldn't see them,
So-
but they could hear.
It has all the cells have like iron doors with some bars on it, and like it looks like areas that you could, if you needed to, slide open the bottom and slide in like a tray of food or something. This one that doesn't look like it's been used, because you can hear this kind of clang, 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 clang.
I actually want to stealth down and try to keep to the shadows.
Okay, you can roll me.
I
Stealth.
was gonna ask if I could use the giant Dragonborn as cover to stealth.
Theoretically, you could.
He
Yeah,
is
that's-
very big with a big pack as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and lots
You
of
take
weapons.
one leg, I take the other.
I'm not that small.
Oops, I didn't mean to actually click that.
Ration!
I'm going to pull out one of my rations.
Think I succeeded.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull out one of my rations, and I'm going to walk over to the door,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to slide the ration under the slot.
You still just hear the clank, 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 clank coming from inside.
So how can I see into the door? Like how
Sure.
how's this door?
You can sort of see into the bars, and you can see this kind of dark shape moving in the back. You can hear the sounds of moving chains, and then all of a sudden, like, you can hear this another, like, a much larger clang as this, like, large man-shide shape rises up and strains the chains behind it that are sort of binding it to the wall. It just stares at you. You can hear the metal creak, and you can almost feel the stone wall behind it shake. It kind of growls and snarls at you. And then it utters something that sounds like a language. And then it just stares at you. And you don't even have to roll insight. You just sense hate. Utter, deep hate emanating from this creature.
Hey.
And then it goes silent, waiting for what you do. Tim,
Can
you
I
heard
just?
you heard what it said. You
Yeah.
don't understand what it said, but you knew what it was telling you. It was telling you,
That's what I was gonna ask.
kill me. Cowards.
Okay.
Well, no one else is gonna know that, and I'm not gonna say it because I can't
Okay.
explain how I know that, right?
Fair enough.
Uh-huh.
And at this point, Tim would still be hanging back. I wouldn't be visible to this guy yet.
Yeah.
At all.
So let's go on.
No, all I was gonna say is I'd just
Oh,
be
okay.
staying back and letting Nokren
So
interact first.
if it's stopped for a while, I'm just gonna go Nokren
It just goes
and
quiet
gesturing to it.
and just stares at you. You can see its muscles flexing as it just it seems like it's straining against the chains some more.
Okay. So not friendly. Not friendly to me, like I was hoping. It looks very angry. Just gonna go to the others.
Tim would walk up at this point because the other two are still stealth
And
at
the thing
this
is,
point, right? Like
you-
they're hidden.
Yeah, and Nokren, you can see that you could even open the door and like get in there. It looks as if like people had been leaving it chained to the wall rather than just leaving it in the room. You know, they did not take the chains off of it because they did not trust it getting anywhere even near the door. And like so it does.
How
seem,
much space is in that cell? Like how much space from the door?
I would say like 5 feet before it gets to where the end of where it can strain to, where you'd be right out of its reach.
So Tim would walk in.
Okay,
Slip
then
in
Nokren
behind.
would as well. Yeah.
Keeping distance, away from it enough. At this point, Tim would cast dancing lights around the room. I want to see how it reacts to light.
It'll kind of squint for a second because obviously it's been in the dark for a while now. And then kind of like look at the lights for a second, kind of look over you,
Mhm.
Roll me an insight. All right, you get the feeling it just was beginning to assess like most important targets.
Okay.
Comparing you to the Dragonborn next to you, you can kind of like tell it's kind of sizing both of you up. And kind
Now
of like, and when you cast
we have
the
a better
spell,
vision of it right now.
Yes, when you cast the spell, you could definitely tell it like it kind of turned its head more towards you.
Okay. At this point, we have a pretty good view of it right now, right?
Yes.
So
I can give a little better description.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
All right. So let's see here. Where am I gonna get this? Yeah. All right. It looks to be about maybe 8.5 feet tall. It's incredibly stockular, muscular. It seems to be covered in this kind of like fur-like hair over most of its body. There does seem to be a couple areas that don't have fur that you can kind of see, and you can see these kind of weird, maybe tattoos, kind of put into these areas. You see in like parts of where it's fur, almost these little like kind of like fetishes, like small bones and skulls have been kind of bound into it. It's kind of fur is this kind of like black, with it almost looks like kind of like silver streaks to it a little bit. It has pointed ears and nose, with it's like it almost has like a slightly elongated snout, not like a full like like wolf or dog snout, but like it's as if it's got a little bit of one. And you can kind of see that it's got these kind of really pointed, kind of savage-looking teeth that it kind of smiles with, as it's kind of, assessing you.
Now, Tim has heard, or rather read, of creatures somewhat similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite this, right?
Nope.
But familiar. It's familiar.
There's
so at this point,
there's something about this that seems familiar, but again, it's like something you can't quite place.
And that's kind of what I mean. Like he would be like, as much as he's sizing Tim up, Tim is sizing him up right now. Tim is like at this point, like I am basically determining whether or not I can kill this thing right now.
Probably in its current state, since it is chained up, you could probably take it pretty easily. That makes it easier.
I'm not saying that I'm going to, but I'm certainly going to turn to my companions right now and say, we should kill this thing.
Nokren's probably going to look at the chains. How you said before we sort of saw it straining at them. Mm-hmm. Is there any sort of sign that it might be? Oh dear. Is there any sort of sign that it might be breaking the wall chains or?
I mean,
okay.
That's and then
you certainly hit. I don't.
Okay.
Is it still standing?
That's rapier damage with sneak attack crit.
Oh, it is still standing.
At that point, if I see Orin attacking it, I am shooting.
Roll
I'm
initiative,
shooting.
because as you get into a fight with it, you can see it like pull out something from somewhere on its body.
Yeah.
It totally has a sharpened spoon.
Oh, okay. Let's do the initiative thing then.
Oh God.
Oh, I rolled with advantage. Whoopsie. The first roll out of that was a 16. Do you just want me to roll again?
Oh no! Oh no! I'm gonna get shanked.
Tantus.
The first roll was a
16, yeah. But do you want me to just roll again?
I can change it if it was already 16. I can change it on Orin.
No. The first roll was the 16 and not the 7. I have +8.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. So it should be 24 though.
It is. I'm saying that I accidentally rolled with advantage.
But that was the first roll out of the two.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine then. Yeah, that's fine then. Okay, I can check there. Okay. Let me just check here. He's initiative. Oh, wait. I gotta roll something else here.
Why am I listed as like turn order first? I am not first at
No,
all.
you are not first. You are definitely not first.
Okay,
He's
Smith,
working on getting them all in there. Then he's gonna
go ahead, Smith. You can attack again if you want to. You have the initiative.
You know,
I-
usually they die really quick. That one didn't hit.
Nope. Your kind of attack actually kind of bounces off its tough skin. It will go, and it is going to kind of hit you with its spoon. Let's see here. What's your AC?
14.
Okay. It will strain at it and barely not reach you, basically, with this kind of stab. Fortunately, you're able to step back enough in time. Tim.
So I'm still
Oh wait, I have to do
out
something.
of its
I'm sorry.
reach.
I have to do
right?
something else here. Give me a second.
Is it a strength check on this thing to see if it breaks free from those chains?
No. It seemed like something comes over it after the attack that Orin did to it, and it almost seems as if it's lost all sense of itself and just wants to murder.
Oh. Okay.
So
All right, I have to look up some things here because things have happened. Yeah.
So I mid fight here. I'm gonna say, that was a suggestion, right?
That's usually all I need.
And at that point, then I'm gonna hold on. I'm just gonna double check something before I do it. Just want to make sure.
I like that. In my mind, the reason why I have such low AC is I was busy sizing up the situation, looking at the restraint, seeing if, and then it's a shank. Oh, what?
Yeah, and I'm gonna cast Firebolt at it.
Well, you hit.
I hit.
Unfortunately, its fur was very wet.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
With blood.
You will deal some damage to it. All right. Let's see who's next.
Rufus.
Is Rufus.
Pantis, why
I'm
don't you
assuming there's
your-
no more room in the cage to get to it.
There.
Yep. Sorry. I mean, not really. The three of them are kind of squished in there.
Okay,
You're
short
small.
bow it is.
Squeeze through.
Go into the cage next to it and shoot through.
Okay.
Hey, that's great.
Your arrow will miss. Nokren.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I've been thoroughly surprised by this, but I guess I'm going to pull out the greatsword and take a swipe at it.
Okay.
I'll take it.
You will. Your slash will come down into it, and you will feel contact, but you will not pierce its hide.
Oh. And this is without armor. Damn.
Yeah.
I will do a whole chink.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
You get the feeling that maybe he wasn't just your average one of these guys.
Okay.
And Tim at this point is going to say, I really hope that these creatures don't have a hive mind. Otherwise, we're in real trouble if we ever step out of this castle.
You
I mean-
really want to kill this thing, though.
Orin?
Orn.
Yeah, Orin.
Yeah. I kind of wipe off the rapier, put it away, bring out 2 daggers, and how many actions does that take to bring out a new weapon and stow?
I mean, you're putting the other one away and bringing them out. You could probably get a just normal attack in.
All right, so lose my bonus. In other words.
Yeah.
All right.
You'll also kind of pink into its tough hide.
God, this thing is annoying.
It's gonna go back after you again. Let me see here.
You're the only one that's really heard it so far.
Yeah. All right.
Well, hey, I did
Well-
damage.
You shot a
A
firecracker at it.
Tim, you're up.
I mean, I'm gonna I want to clarify something with you before I do it.
Yeah.
Burning hands.
Yeah.
That would burn the shit out of Orin too, wouldn't it?
At this point in time, yes.
Okay.
I thought we were more lined up with
I mean-
the guy here.
That's kind of what I mean. Is he blocked right now?
You guys are. This is not a really big cell, and there's a bunch of you kind of squeezed in there.
Yeah,
So,
but like,
I mean,
I'm just saying, it's a 15-foot cone in front of me. If they're beside me, that is not in front of me.
they're not really beside you. I'm going to assume that you're probably a little farther back than the two of them at this point in time.
But are they in the 15-foot cone in front of me?
At least one of them.
Who? That actually really does
your
matter.
choice, because the cone says you can kind of move it a little bit. Your choice.
So it's going to hit one of them is basically what's happening
Yes,
here.
if you want a cone, you're going to have to hit one of them.
Hey, what's the deal with blue Dragonborn?
I'm not resistant to fire. I'm resistant
That's what
to
I wanted to
lightning.
check. Thank you
I'm
very
resistant
much.
to
I
lightning.
will continue to shoot a firebolt at it.
You continue to hit it.
Hundreds of years, right? Hundreds.
I lost 50
no,
of
no,
them
no.
recently.
If this is your, I'm much better with spells.
What's happening is he's trying to hold back, and he's like, oh, little too much, a bit more.
He's hitting at least.
Yeah,
This is
I am
accurate.
deadly accurate.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Rufus, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try one of the special arrows.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
At
Am I
Now
still
what?
getting sneak or no?
It's a
I
normal
mean,
arrow.
you're within 30 feet, and you have an ally adjacent to it. The answer is
Okay.
yes.
Crap.
No. Nokren?
Okay, I'm
Real
gonna.
quick, Joe, you have your short bow set to strength for damage,
Ooh. Well,
and
it hasn't mattered, but I will fix that. I don't know.
instead of 13,
Oh, yeah.
you would have had what? Yeah, +3 to your dex.
I don't know why that was strength. Dex.
Right.
Yes.
Okay,
16
then
wouldn't
he
have
would
hit.
have had 16.
16 wouldn't have hit.
Okay.
Fucking
Sorry.
okay.
What?
Once again, without armor.
Yeah.
Is his armor class?
If
like
he wasn't
18 right
chained
now?
up, he probably would murder the crap out of all of you.
Well, yeah, that's why I said we
I
should
am
kill him
also
while
gonna
he's chained up.
I'm also gonna say after shooting again,
Fucking goddamn it!
do you think they're gonna be a little upset if we kill the prisoner?
Nope.
Probably not, honestly. Like,
All right,
And
Smith.
Tim
You're up.
would turn at that point and say, "That doesn't matter at all."
19.
19 will
Hey.
hit.
yeah.
Probably AC
So
of 18.
11. And
Your
now-
attack does hit, but it feels as if it doesn't do as much damage as you'd want.
It's almost like it's raging.
It's almost like it's raging.
It is
Alright.
raging.
Yeah.
And offhand for a few more.
Okay.
At this point, does this thing look like it's staggered even?
It looks as if you're injuring it, but it looks as if whatever's going on with it, it has no, like, concept of its own injuries anymore.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Huh.
drunk. Okay.
Can I ask, would Nokren have noticed that his stabbing didn't do what he thought it would do?
Probably a little bit. I mean, you can feel...
100% like.
Oh no, actually,
Don't
never mind. I have
Alright.
another reason for why Nokren's going to do what he's going to do. Continue.
let me
You
roll
stabbed
a
the brick wall.
D4 here. Okay. Smith, you're going to be hurting a lot because you will take 12.
Is that?
You
Are you
rolled
down?
a 2. He has +10 to damage.
He's raging.
He will one-shot any of us.
Oh yeah, I'm down. I'm just like confused.
You just watch him drop. Oh.
I seem to be the smart one out here.
Yeah.
At this point,
Tim?
I'm gonna ask this just as a clarification question.
Mhm.
Is Tim strong enough to drag Orn?
Theoretically, he could. You could make a strength check and see how you do. Dragging is a lot easier than anything else. I mean, you could still trip up and not do it, but...
Because I was gonna suggest, would it be easier for Nokren to do it?
I was also going to say, don't get him out of my range, remember.
True,
Don't drag him out of
True.
my reach.
but I want him out of the range of just the guy sitting on his face and just crushing his skull.
I think. That's true. But if you pull him, wouldn't he get an attack of opportunity?
I mean, I'm gonna.
I think he'd get it on me, right? He wouldn't get it on Orn.
Probably. But I'd say you could probably use the withdraw. If that's all you're doing this turn is dragging him out.
I'm not dragging him too far. I'm dragging him
just, like,
to
dragging
the
him,
door
like,
of
to
the cell.
Yeah, like right outside the thing's reach, basically.
So, like, basically still within Nokren's reach, but outside of the creature's reach is the intention here.
Yes.
And I think I would also, like Tim would also say at this point, we're not killing this thing in here. This is just an education. Let's back out. He's still chained to the wall.
Shooting arrows and firebolts at him.
We can certainly stand out here and kill him.
Oh,
but
I have an idea what I can do. Remember, I have a glaive.
Oh yeah.
Stab from a distance.
If you guys back up, I will say you can probably finish him off at this point in time very easily.
Then I think that's...
When you realize being in melee range with him is a terrible, terrible thing.
Well, I've not been in melee range this entire time, right? Like, I'm still back at the door. I'm just planning on reaching for Orn and pulling him out.
Yes.
Now, do I need to do a strength check to do that?
You still make a strength check, yes.
Okay, and it's just the one on the left, top left.
Top left strength.
This is gonna go horribly. I'm so sorry.
Hey, you got it. You're just like
adrenaline.
You like the adrenaline. Thing. You pull him out. You're like, I'll save you, buddy. I'll save you.
Okay. Then,
as like you pull him out, is you see like the thing like drive the spoon down like where he was and kind of like drag it on the bottom as it kind of like. It probably is dulling its sharpened spoon a little bit, as like you can see it's kind of like foaming a little bit now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a medicine check on him.
Oh, you want to do that? That's fine.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Hey. Yeah, it looks like Smith is all right. He's gonna be all right.
I saw this done to a sheep once.
He's still knocked out, but he's gonna be all right.
Okay. Well. Nokren has two actions. He's going to, first of all, reach back and do the lay on hands. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to use all 5 to get him up fully, because I was just like, he went, okay, you need to be up.
Yep, you got 5 hit points.
And I'm going to turn it back around and just lightning breath the shit out of it. Mm-hmm. Come on. Just all right. Blow in its face. Why can't I hit lightning breath? I've clicked it. There we go. Oh, did it twice. It's only the first one. Yeah.
Okay, let me roll a d20 here for its dex. Oh, wow.
Oh my god. Okay, we'll take 3 damage.
Well.
Who gave that thing a metal utensil?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like puts up his arms, and I guess I don't know. It goes. Lightning goes to the.
No, what chains. He did was he lifted up the spoon, and it reflected off of the spoon.
I thought maybe the chains might be grounding him.
Yeah, the chains might be grounding him there.
There you go.
Fucking okay. Backing away now. Does he get a swipe at me?
Now it smells like burnt fur.
What's your AC anyway?
It
misses you. It misses you.
Oh, okay, good.
Hey, it was very, very distracted by the lightning.
It was distracted.
I walk backwards and lightning as I walk backwards.
Yeah, there you go.
Sparkly.
So, that happened.
Should we still kill it, or should we just...
We're killing it now, for sure.
While you're saying that, I'm pulling out the glaive and getting ready to go stabby stab.
Okay.
Because I can stab it from a distance with that thing.
Whose turn is it now?
Let's see here.
Back to the top of the order.
Smith's turn then. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kind of laying on the ground, still pissed off that someone gave a prisoner a metal utensil.
Yeah.
Why? There's no point. They have hands. This thing is savage, clearly. Why?
It's got like the pointy end of a spoon. You got like a point mark in you because it just like drove a spoon into your shoulder.
Yeah.
So,
you've been spooned.
I will kill
I'm assuming
you next.
that's your turn. That's your turn. You're just
Oh
complaining.
yeah. Oh yeah. The entire.
Let me roll something here.
Oh
Twice.
fuck! Please tell me this isn't a strength check to rip free from those chains, because he will have gotten it. God damn you, Matt.
Close the gate.
Stab quickly, stab.
So it's my turn, is it?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be
Yes.
doing a little bit of this now.
All right, let's see. Mix check. Okay, it fails. It burns a whole lot. The smell
Damn
of
right
burning
it does.
fur fills the room.
My turn.
Yes.
I'm gonna close the door and attempt to lockpick it locked.
I mean, you have a
Atta
key.
boy.
You have a key.
Oh, we have a key?
No. He's lockpicking it locked.
Oh, never mind.
No. He wasn't thinking about that. Go for it.
Yeah.
I want
As
to see
he's
the roll.
lockpicking it, I'm just gonna. Never mind.
What do thieves' tools give me?
Dex plus proficiency. Just do roll
Okay.
that. Yeah.
See what it's doing is breaking the lock, so it can't be opened.
17.
You relock it then.
It's done.
Will my glaive fit through the bars?
I mean, not effectively.
So disadvantage?
Yes, you're like kind of poke it through the bars.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
just
know why
I'm
to
just
get
trying to
it
poke.
stuck.
This is why you need a lance.
You're not wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna try and poke it with disadvantage through the bars. This could go terribly. Let's do it. Holy shit!
Oh,
God.
that's amazing. What?
All right.
What did I roll? I rolled
A 15 and an 18.
15 and an 18.
I think as I was closing the door, you got a quick jab in.
All right. We're back to Smith. It's still up. It's looking probably like huge injuries across it now. It's very burnt and stuff, but it's still standing.
Wow. I'm
Short
glad this thing
bow.
has changed.
Miss.
Okay.
Pinks off.
Tim?
Hold on. Where is everyone standing right now?
You're all outside the door, crowding around the...
Well, I guess I'm actually at the door since I just locked it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't think I can burning hands again, is what I'm getting at.
I mean, you could
Yes.
reach your hands in through the bars and probably do it, I'll say.
And hope he doesn't break your
Yeah,
thumb.
that sounds safe.
You don't need your hands,
No,
right?
you know what?
By the
Tim
way.
is intelligent enough to not stick his
Okay.
hands through the bars.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Crack! There's this large ripping noise as the chains come flying off the wall.
I'm
as it
fucking
barrels
throwing
into
fire.
the door.
hitting it in the face with a firebolt.
As you kind
As
of
it's
see...
doing
Okay,
that.
let me roll something else here.
Please do.
Okay.
Fuck off.
The door... Okay. The door buckles for a second, and you can feel as though, like, it bends, but then things go silent in the cell. As you can kind of, like, just see it kind of, like, for a second against the door, and it kind of
I'm
then
glad
just
I locked
slumps
that.
back and falls down.
Dab it more. Make sure.
yeah.
Don't.
I'm gonna.
Go
Can my
in
glaive reach where it's slumped?
Sure.
Okay, I'm just
You're
gonna
stab it a couple of times.
stab. I think it's dead.
All right, who's gonna get my daggers?
there. Orn,
I'll unlock
you
the
need
door.
to take it to
Okay.
the father.
The door seems a little bit destroyed, but eventually between a lot of you, you can pop it open again.
I was about to say, do
There's
you need me
a
to make a
gap
strength
big
test?
enough from it warping to throw the halfling in.
Can I just do a strength check to pop it off?
Sure.
Like just.
Sure.
Okay. Oops. Just a second. I moved my thing away from my strength. There's strength check.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, not
Okay.
as good as I was hoping.
Nope. Well, I mean, I'm gonna say eventually you guys can get it open.
Wait.
With, like,
I just have to try this.
that's a
I
strength
would laugh
saving
so
throw,
hard if you-
which is
Hold
not a
on,
strength
hold on.
check.
No.
It's still the same thing.
Look, we're all working towards it here. That's
Oh damn! He beat me though.
Lift with the back.
just rips the door off.
No, oh god, I was...
Well, you're
I
still
just
knocked
kind of
out.
no. I stand up, grab hold of the bars. No.
But you see Rufus
Lift
like
with the back.
get his like probably like a dagger. What do you have? A short sword or dagger or something? Or
I have a rapier. I have a dagger.
You see, you get the dagger in there and kind of like just mess around with it. The rest of you are kind of holding it, and he kind of pops it in such a way with the dagger, kind of leveraging it, that the rest of you are kind of able to pull it open. So rather than him actually having like the strength to do it, he just gets in a position where the rest of you guys fumbling at it can pop open the door.
You have to make sure that to get the damn pins out.
Dagger.
He's not wrong. And Tim would go in and grab the daggers. Tim would also, as he's holding the daggers, hold them out to Orin. He wouldn't step back over the creature. He would be looking at it the whole time while he had
Yeah, I'm going to examine it. I want to look at its blood. I want to look like, does it look like normal blood?
Sure. Looks just kind of like the reddish blood all of you have.
Taste.
Tastes like blood, I mean.
Okay.
I want to... Sorry, I want to check it for magic.
It does bleed blood.
It bleeds.
Roll some Arcana. You don't sense any current magic in it. If there was a magic to it while it was alive, it's kind of gone already now. But, like, it doesn't look like anything that's on it is directly magical. Like, you can, like, take a look at all, like, the tattoos and stuff. They seem like intricate designs, but none of them seem like actual, like, magical tattoos as far as you can tell.
Can I try a nature check to learn anything about it?
I mean, you could. I mean, that's just like making a nature check on another person. So, it is kind of more animal-y. It does look very predatory. It has nice, like... It has claws on its hands, but not enough to actually tear at flesh. You know, kind of things. Looks like it probably would have a keen sense of smell.
Can I knock a fang out?
Sure.
Are we trophy? Like, are we removing trophies from this thing now?
Apparently he is.
I think we should, first of all, let the guards know that their prisoner is dead. Second of all, we need to figure out what this thing is. It was calling. It was speaking. It was asking to be killed.
You know, none of us heard any of that, right?
I heard
What else
some
is
grunting.
Yeah.
Alright, well, you guys enjoy doing that. I'm gonna find out who the hell gave it a spoon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
can
start
we-
checking out the other cells.
Orin.
We just
I'm
tell the
not
guards
gonna
it's
kill
broke
them.
free before we attacked it, because just to make sure.
And how do we
Just
know
tell
the
them
spoon
that it
wasn't
broke
just in
free,
the
then
cell?
we attacked it, not just happened to shank it while it was tied up.
I'm just going to tell them their prisoner is dead.
That's
They
fair.
can see that the chains are ripped. They can make the assumptions that they will.
All right.
Okay.
If you want to search around it, there are a total of 10 cells in here. None of them seem to be occupied, except one of them does seem to have a lot of webs in it.
Okay.
There is
Wait,
also
webs?
yes,
Like large
Okay,
webs?
I heard beds.
like
So
like
I just wanted to
webs.
clarify.
Like one of the cells seems filled with webs, like an unusual large amount of them.
Knowledge nature?
I mean, spiders? A lot of
Like,
them?
but does it look like it could be large spiders?
I mean,
Uh.
no, it looks like normal size webs, just lots and lots and lots of them.
Well, he
But
he
for
did
some
say
reason,
that.
just in that room.
Okay.
That is the that's known as the orgy cell.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
thought.
very
That's-
popular.
Yeah.
Can I look for like any differences between this cell and other cells apart from the webs?
It looks just the same as far as you can see.
Interesting. Okay.
There are
Is
Is
this-
there?
Is the room made of stone
Hmm.
and metal? I'm assuming.
yes, stone and metal.
I'm gonna light a torch.
Okay.
So just saying about the webs. Spiders don't put their webs in places that bugs don't go, and it would make sense to have them in every cell. So there's probably a little way that bugs are getting through. I don't know if it's bigger or what.
I'm gonna stick the torch into the cell.
All right. Okay, let me roll some
So-
things here and look up some
Should
stuff.
we,
do we
should we
summon
be
a
rolling
demon?
initiative here? Is that
Yes, you'll be rolling initiative here.
God
As spiders
damn it,
are going to
Rufus.
pour out of the windows, like the opening.
Just regular spiders?
It seems to be a swarm of them.
Not here. I walked back to the guards.
Yes, so Rufus and Nokren are covered in spiders.
Fucking what the fuck?
I'm like halfway in between. So I'm pretty close and
Would
can
you-
react.
Oh,
Would you
lovely.
call for me at that point to come back?
As soon as I know where I am in initiative, I'll let you
You'll
know.
probably hear a scream in a second.
No. Oh yeah, we gotta roll initiative again. Oh,
I'm-
good.
Yes.
I'm assuming I don't roll initiative until I'm aware of the circumstance.
Hey.
Is that right, Matt?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
Fucking hell, Rufus.
What the? This is not what I expected. I wish I didn't use all my lay on hands now.
Yeah. Yeah.
alright,
And there's only one of us who could really affect a swarm.
I guess,
Oh, yeah.
Orin, what are you doing?
Well, first of all, Tim, fire needed.
And that's about right for where I was.
And then
Okay.
I guess I'm not getting next to those fucking things. I'm just gonna like crouch down and try to like
Yeah, you're hurt.
skid an arrow on the ground to just wipe out as many spiders as possible.
Cool.
Are they next to them for a sneak attack or not?
I don't know if you can sneak a swarm.
I think you
Technically, you
I
can.
think
Oh.
you can.
can.
Yeah.
You can.
I've done some reading.
Yes.
I think you
Go
can.
ahead. Okay. You kill some of the swarm.
Hey, good news.
Good news,
News,
everybody.
everyone.
Good news.
I wish you still had lightning breath.
Yeah, so do I.
Nokren.
I wish I had burning hands.
Nokren is gonna start moving. Did these get an attack of opportunity? Would I know this?
They would.
Okay, I guess.
Swarm of opportunity. Because
Yep.
technically speaking, they're all like in your area kind
Yeah.
of thing. They just haven't started biting and tearing into you.
Yeah. So,
They will be.
first of all, Nokren's gonna yell out to the guards, "The fuck are you doing with this dungeon?" and start swinging with the greatsword. just, what the fuck?
All right. Rufus.
I guess I'll sneak a rapier.
I wonder if torches would be better than my sword.
That's still not correct for your rapier. You're still on strength.
Yeah.
Why is it?
I don't know what you did, but
I
I'm
don't
pretty sure you
know.
aren't strength based.
No,
But it looks
I-
like you rolled a 1 anyway. So what's your dex modifier?
3.
So you do a total of 7
6.
damage.
Yeah.
Hold on. He actually does 8 because for some reason on his sneak attack damage he has a modifier, and it's strength.
Oh yeah, I see that as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I just fixed that. I don't know why that was like that. I swore.
Ugh.
How long is this hallway, Matt?
probably like about 40 feet long.
How far? So like, how far down the hallway from the guards are? Is everybody right now?
Probably 20 feet.
20 feet?
Like this place was
Okay.
right across from the guy you just killed.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm not that
Anyway,
far away.
Okay, so they're gonna try to swarm over the two of you, and you're gonna be like, no, bad spiders.
Fucking,
Uh,
fucking.
you managed to avoid getting them in any really vulnerable spots right now. Tim, what are you?
They're
gonna
still
do?
working their way into your clothes.
Armor. Yeah.
Um,
I'm glad I have scales.
well, I'm gonna move a few feet closer, enough that that I can do that.
Okay.
Hey.
Well, make some.
I don't even know if this affects swarms. So,
It does, and it affects all of us as well.
Yeah, make
oh, I know it affects all of you.
all of you
I
make
don't care.
Constitution saves.
All right, guess who's down again?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, con save.
Yeah.
Yep. So wait, do I take half and then half
take-
again?
Well, it's...
Ow.
'Cause it's
yes.
thunder
Where are
damage.
your constitutions at?
Which
I have plus
I
1
have-
to my save.
I have +2 to my
So
constitution.
yeah, you would take a total of 1, I guess then, and the rest
Yeah,
of the
take 1
spiders
damage.
will die.
Oh, okay.
Question. Which
So we
way do
both
I
took
get
1?
thrown 10 feet?
Oh, I'm ahead of you now. You'd be going back to the guards.
Okay.
You said we both took 1?
No, you took 6.
I took 1.
Oh.
The person who
because
made
I
their save
take-
and has resistance to it.
Yeah.
Took 1. Because
So I'm just sitting there
again.
Boom!
No. That's
Oh.
thunder, not lightning.
Oh, you're right, actually.
Very,
yeah.
very frightening. Sorry.
So I take not that. I take
3.
Yeah, you take 3.
3. Yeah.
I'm down to 3.
I'm at
Also,
0.
sorry, but I killed the spiders, so
Yeah.
No.
I'm just sitting there, and they just get wiped off me, and I'm like, okay.
I'm noticing a pattern here. I do the most damage, then get knocked the fuck down.
Yep.
Glass cannon.
Now,
Is there anything
At
in the
this-
cell?
at this point,
No,
assuming
there's
before
fire.
you even fucking
There's
do
fire
that
in
because
the
you
cell. Because you
because you
threw
lit
fire.
the whole thing on fire, you monster. Now,
I'm.
before anyone does anything at this point, I would be rushing to check Orn.
Okay.
As soon
Yeah.
as before I even knew what had happened with the spiders, I would be checking on him because I'd be like, fuck, basically.
Would he even know that he got me though? Is the question.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Your
he'd be
back,
paying attention.
no, well, your back was turned and thunderclap you couldn't hear.
No, but I would have turned right away to check. Tim
Okay.
would have checked right away. That was his first thing to do was check. He didn't even look at what happened with the spiders. He doesn't know the combat is over. He just wanted to check, and when he saw you fly,
I was making sure.
he's on you. That's all that's happening there.
Okay.
Well, since the cell's still on fire, I will help check him too and roll a medicine.
I was about to say I have medicine as well. If that
someone
doesn't.
roll it. I don't care.
Yeah,
If
you
he
go.
fails,
You go.
someone else-
Oh,
you
you
got
go.
Wow.
Another 17.
Rufus is like an expert at medicine, apparently.
Apparently.
I learned this on a sheep once.
It totally works on a human. They're the same, aren't they?
Hurts.
Halfling racism. All right.
Are people sheep?
Orin will be not unconscious anymore.
No,
he'll be
I'm
un-
unconscious.
No, you'll be unconscious. You won't be like dying anymore. Again.
Okay.
I'm stable, as they say.
Yeah.
Now that there's no spiders and everything's on fire, can I see anything inside the cell worth that trouble that just happened?
No, you see fire. If there was something in there, it is very much so on fire now.
So I'm just Nokren's just gonna go up to the guards and be like, "The fuck,
What?
Fire!
the fuck."
Oh, they're gonna like look down the hall. Oh, that one. We just left that alone. We didn't want to
Good.
mess with it.
Tim would grab this guard by the shoulder. And Tim is not an intimidating person, but Tim would be pushing him against the wall.
Trying.
Clean up your garbage.
Yeah.
No one's down
Yeah.
here.
It doesn't matter. Clean up after yourselves.
Fine.
Do you have no dignity? Also, your prisoner is dead. And then Tim would leave. Oh, by the way, I'm dragging Orin behind me now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stable.
thanks.
Yeah.
Nokren's gonna turn to the guard and be like, "We're stuck here now, and we're gonna have need of this dungeon. It needs to be in better shape."
Oh, there you would have. Those of you that did check out the other cells would have noticed something though. Other than a couple of small hallways, one which seemed to lead to there was like an old torture room, an interrogation room, a storage room, and a large kind of stone door with 3 giant metal bars across it at the one end of the hall. And we'll just take our break there because it's time for a break, and I just noticed the time.
I was
Yeah.
just going to ask that.
Oh my god! Yes, I'm sorry. we lost track of the time killing that guy and getting covered in spikes.
Yeah, that was.
Look, it was an exciting hour and 45 minutes. I really have to pee.
Yeah, let's take our break. We're gonna take our break. We'll be back.
That's how exciting it was, folks.
Yes.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
go to the bathroom, get a drink, all that kind of stuff. We'll be back in a little bit, a couple minutes, like 5 so minutes, back with more adventures where they can figure out what the heck this giant door is, what's going on maybe in the cathedral, and all that stuff. So we'll see you all very
Do we
shortly.
want to sleep first?
Maybe.
Um,
But
Maybe
we'll-
I'm
I'm
just take
way
a
ahead
short
of you.
rest during this time.
just a note.
Mhm.
Before, because I have to pee, so I forgot to say this. I would have been saying to Nokren, grab the savage one, bring him to the priest with me.
Okay,
All right. So see you
okay,
shortly.
we'll do that.